In the headlines, court OK's probe of Transportation Minister. Abaribe resigns as Senate Minority Leader, dumps PDP. To mark Children's Day, federal government establishes family courts in 16 states. Iraq's parliament passes a law that makes it a crime to normalize ties with Israel. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi seeking to stop his probe over an alleged 96 billion naira fraud. In a lead judgment prepared by Justice Emmanuel Ogi but read by Justice Adamu Jairo, the Apex Court dismissed the appeal of Amechi on grounds that the issue of not being given fair hearing does not arise as no one is on trial. The move by Rivers State is a panel of inquiry into the alleged fraud. The minority leader of the Senate, Eyinaya Abaribe, has resigned from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. Senator Abaribe made his decision known in a letter to the ward chairman of the PDP in his Ward 5, Obingwa local government area of Abia State. In the letter dated May 24, 2022, the senator wrote, "This development is consequent upon the shameful display of illegality, impunity and undemocratic decision of the party and after due consultations with my constituents." He said he would make his new political direction known in due course. In a separate letter, Senator Abaribe notified Senate President Ahmed Lawal of his resignation from the PDP. Senate President Ahmed Lawal said the race for presidency should not be a contest of ideas and not where one comes from. Lawal said he has offered himself for the job because he possessed the essentials that make him an effective and efficient president. The report.
The Senate President Ahmed Lawal made remarks in Abuja while addressing the All Progressives Congress, APC leaders, and particularly the delegates from the Federal Capital Territory.
I present my credentials that I have, with all humility, the requisite training, the requisite experience, and the network and links across the country to make Nigeria greater. So let this contest be a contest of ideas, not contest of where someone is coming from. I respect all the distinguished aspirants, and I believe that any of us can have, whoever has the opportunity can serve well. But I think I can serve better.
Earlier, the FCT APC chairman Abdul Malik Usman spoke passionately about how Abuja indigents had not been benefiting from either ambassadorial or ministerial roles. He said it was time for indigents to be given opportunity to serve in government at such levels.
No state titles for the Federal Capital Territory, no ministerial appointment for the Federal Capital Territory, no other meaningful appointment in the parastatal agencies in the Federal Capital Territory. Mr. Senate President is here today. He will use his hammer today to make I has it for all these things to happen to the people of Africa.
Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has emerged as the Kwara State governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress. He's the only aspirant in the race. 965 delegates were accredited for the Kwara State APC governorship primary election.
Of 965 accredited voters, the National Secretariat also informed us that the only candidate that has submitted expression of interest as well as nomination form for the position of governor of Kwara State in the 2023 election is Abdurrahman Abdulrazak.
My profound gratitude goes to all of you distinguished delegates and to the people of Kwara State for this honor. I also thank all the leaders, party stalwarts, leaders across Kwara State, I do not take your support for granted. Between 2019 and now, the trajectory of Kwara has changed. We have registered a bold presence in the Committee of Decent and Respected States. We have positive strides and indices in education, health, access to water, improved youth engagement, gender mainstreaming, support for our farmers and the vulnerable.
Now, a crisis is brewing in the ruling All Progressive Congress APC in Nasarawa State following alleged doctoring of delegates list in some of the local government areas of the state by APC National Secretariat. The state chairman of the party, Dr. John Mamman, who accused the national body of the party led by Abdullahi Adamu of doctoring the delegates list, described APC leadership action as undemocratic, which is capable of breeding dissatisfaction, tension and disunity in the party.
Across the country in preparation for the forthcoming 2023 general election. For us in Nasarawa State, we are not surprised with the effective way and manner the National Secretariat has been going about steering the affairs of the party to participate in the impending elections. As a matter of fact, we expect no less from the National Secretariat because the man at the helm of affairs is no other person than distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu Turakin Kefi, a notable statesman of a very high pedigree. It is common knowledge that the emergence of Senator Abdullahi Adamu, CON Turakin Kefi, as the national chairman was greeted with popular acclamation, most especially by teaming members of the party across Nigeria, as well as other patriotic Nigerians who are desirous of enduring democracy for our country. We are proud of our national chairman.
In other news, Kano State Deputy Governor Nasir Gawuna emerged the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate. Gawuna defeated his opponent Sha'aban Ibrahim Sharada to emerge winner of the primary election, which held in the late hours of Thursday at the Sani Abacha Sports Complex. Chairman of Kaduna APC governorship primary election, Anatrina Izu, announced Senator Sani winner of the election. However, his major challenger defeated two other aspirants, Bashir Abubakar, who scored 37 votes, and Sani Sha'aban, who got 10 votes in the contest. While in Bauchi, Al-Amin Mohammed, gubernatorial aspirant of the All Progressive Congress, withdrawn from the race, few hours to the commencement of the primary election. Tonya Cole emerged winner of APC governorship primary in Rivers State. Cole garnered 986 votes to defeat 5 contestants, including Senator Magnus Abbey. Ahead of the People's Democratic Party primary election, the police have beefed up security in the Federal Capital Territory. The event is slated to hold on May 28 and 29 at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. In a statement, the Police Public Relations Officer DSP Josephine Ade said consequent upon the above and in bids to ensure a hitch-free event, the FCT Police Command has designed a robust security arrangement defined by a generous deployment within and without the election ground and to every nook and cranny of the city. Governorship primaries across some states of the Federation by the People's Democratic Party have thrown up mixed fortunes for aspirants. Some of those that emerged as candidates were expected, while others were a complete surprise. Kaidi Omodu takes a look at the emerging picture of how the battle for the governor ticket will look like in states.
Kano is one of the states steeped in politics where surprises spring up every political season. The ruling All Progressives Congress has its issues with many members of a faction of the party moving into the newly rejigged New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Across the river, the People's Democratic Party has issues. 2 factions of the party produced 2 candidates, Muhammad Abacha and Sadiq Wali, son of elder statesman Aminu Wali. In Kaduna, former member of the House of Representatives and candidate of the PDP in the 2019 general elections, Isa Ashiru won the ticket of the PDP. A former executive director of the First Bank, Northern Zone, Dauda Lawal emerged the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Zamfara State. 3 other aspirants had withdrawn for the exercise few minutes into the process, citing irregularities and substitution of national delegates. In Gombe State, 328 delegates from 114 wards, 11 local government areas and 11 national delegates voted in primaries, which saw Muhammad Barde emerge as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party. There is no surprise that in Adamawa State, incumbent Ahmadu Fintiri was returned unopposed as candidate, while his counterpart in Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, soundly trounced his opponent in the primaries. These results from the People's Democratic Party primaries show an opposition party that has shown up for work. But will that be enough to wrest power from the All Progressives Congress?
The fact that money and paramount power of incumbents still play so much role in the determination of whomsoever emerges at our primaries and at various levels of elections demonstrated the fact that we are not growing our electoral democracy, and this is seriously negating our developmental democracy.
A school of thought believes as a fallout of the primaries, there are quite a number of contestants that will move to other parties.
We may likely have a kind of a result where many people that are de-enfranchised or consider themselves to have been so done to, we move out of the party. That cannot be unexpected. You have seen that even Peter Obi, without getting to the real primary, have pulled out from PDP and things of that nature. So
now, while that may not be new in the Nigerian political system, the slowly growing influence of alternate political platforms may spring up surprise in 2023. By the 4th of June, a clear picture of the character of the new leadership in 2023 at all tiers of government will slowly start to emerge. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Youths in Kongolom border town of Mai-Adwa local government area of Katsina State have protested the killing of Abdurrahman Amadu by officials of Border Drill, Nigeria Customs Service. Worried by the incessant killings of residents of Kongolom town, the youths say they would no longer fold their arms watching customs operatives kill innocent people. Abdullahi Yamadi has the details of this report.
In a state of mourning, residents of Kongolom border town in Mai-Adwa local government area of Katsina State claimed that Abdurrahman Amadu was shot by an official of Border Drill on Friday. The victim was conveyed to Federal Medical Center Katsina, where he was confirmed dead on Sunday. The deceased is my biological son. I feel cheated. He is innocent and the breadwinner of the family. I will never forgive these killers and need the assistance of all stakeholders in ensuring justice. Residents claim Abdurrahman Amadu is the third person in his family to be eliminated by customs operatives, while the unfortunate incident brings the number of those killed in incidents like this to 90. The two killed from this family are my grandsons. They left wives and children, which I must take their responsibilities. And as you can see, I am old and getting older by the day. I need justice, no more, no less. Worried by the killings, some angry youth went on rampage, burning down some huts erected by security personnel at the border town. However, normalcy was restored following the intervention of the elders, the Galadimandaura district head of Mai-Adwa, with the support of police in the area. There were some structures here burnt down by some angry youth following the killing of one of them by the operatives of Border Drill. It is high time to stop these killings. The victim was not in possession of anything illegal. I can confirm to you that he is innocent. While commiserating with the family of the deceased, Officials of Human Rights Network of Nigeria, Katsina State, condemned the killers and promised to take the matter up with the Nigeria Customs Service. This is an institutional failure. Something very urgent needs to be done to stop this madness, at least for peace to reign in Kongolom border town. Enough is enough. A senior customs officer in Katsina who claimed anonymity told Trust Television News that the border drill operatives are directly answerable to the Office of the National Security Advisor. As such, the area command should not be held responsible for the killings. There are speculations that hundreds of people have been killed, all in an attempt by customs officials to stop smuggling, especially along Kongolom-Jibia corridors. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up, how retiree takes to wood chopping to survive. Details of this story and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update, our top stories. Supreme Court okays probe of Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi. Abaribe resigns as Senate Minority Leader, dumps the PDP. Still ahead, the Nigerian Navy ship KDA has arrived Lagos after her maiden voyage and last port call at Port Gentil in Gabon. The landing ship tank was constructed at Albadi Damin Shipyard, Sharjah, United Arab Emirates. NNS KDA made port calls in Oman, Kenya, South Africa, Angola, Port Gentil, Gabon, and is now in Lagos. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zubairu, received the ship making 8424 nautical mile voyages at the NNS Jatiya Papa, Lagos. Moving on, corporal punishment remains a widely used disciplinary technique in most African families and schools to shape children and make them grow into responsible citizens. Despite being generally accepted that corporal punishment helps in child development, it has been a subject of controversy among psychologists that a thin line separates correctional corporal punishment from abuse. In this report, educationists speak on better ways of correcting children.
To the school, but she has not gone to the school. That will is indicating something that you will do.
The family and the school are the first and most important agents of socialization, where a child learns to explore and imbibe social norms. In this process of learning, a child could exhibit certain behaviors that parents and teachers feel inclined to correct, especially when those actions are judged to be against acceptable patterns of human behavior. But the method or technique to fix the problem has been the subject of debate among educators and child rights advocates. Corporal punishment, which involves parents, teachers, or supervising adults subjecting children to pain through flogging or by any other means, has been frowned at in many fora, leaving many wondering what is the most acceptable way of correcting a child.
Today's education policy has been abolished. Corporal punishment is a disciplinary action taken against a learner or a child due to misconduct. Some of this misconduct can be as a result of not going by the rules and regulations of the school. And infringing this corporal punishment, the Child Rights Act has abolished it completely in our schools, most especially at the basic school.
For separating a child from his mate in a class. If a child does something, you say, Abdullah, come here, stay here. Well, you continue your lesson. Abdullah will feel being separated from his mate. It's a way of punishing a child. Then another one, you call a child and give him an assignment in a class different from the one the class are carrying on. It's another way to punish a child.
You can ask that child to write, I'm sorry. Or you ask the child to write, I'm sorry, I will not do it again. I'm sorry, I will not do it again. Up to 50 times. This will make that child to change.
This is the public primary school in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. They have devised a better way of dealing with unacceptable behaviors. Every week, they hold a mentorship session, pairing a teacher to a group of students to create an enabling environment for the students to have a rapport with their mentors.
My little boy said, from what Promise said, that late is a bad habit. This mentorship is very good. Why it is good is that he enlightens children on what is good and what is not good. Mostly the effects on them in the school and the society. It made them to know what to do at the right time and what not to do even when they mingle with their people.
My uncle is not the best to polish me. I love my uncle. My uncle loves me. She told me, say, this thing is not good and this thing good. So then they do it again.
I love my uncle. He teaches anything that we don't understand. He reminds us again, say any question, then you understand.
As a parent, if my child come to home and tell me this is the kind of punishment he or her auntie gave to him, I'm going to ask him or her, what did you do? If he tell me, the next day I will go to their school and contact the teacher. This kind of punishment is bad.
Corporal punishment itself is relative among those who subscribe to it due to the way it is administered or handled by those correcting the offending kids. This boy was asked to go home after school, but decided to go along with his friends, leaving his mother worried. So when he gets home and you hear he has been barred from going out for a period of time or subjected to some other forms of punitive measure, the idea is to forestall a repeat of unacceptable behavior. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child describes corporal punishment as the most widespread form of violence against children, in which physical force is used and intended to cause some degree of pain or discomfort. A 60-year-old retiree, Hussein Yakubu, has taken to wood chopping for survival due to unpaid retirement benefits after 35 years of service. Yakubu was a typist with the Adamawa State Urban Planning and Development Service. From Yola, Silas Lowell has the details.
would log in for a 60-year-old. This is ordinarily a no-no. But for Yakubu, this is the only option available for him to eke out a living. After his routine morning calls and family time, he treks over 2 kilometers to meet potential customers that will patronize him at the end of the day. Upon arrival, negotiations start and agreement is reached. It is draining for his age, but this is the only available option for him. After delivering on his tasks, Hussaini receives the day's income. He tells Trust TV how long he has been into this trade.
One lokaci aikin nan to akwai takaici one lokaci.
There is no enough time. This trade of mine is hard because sometimes I only used to get 1,000 naira, 500 naira or 200 naira, with some days with no kobo. And you know how family responsibility is. But usually what I used to tell my family is that that's how God plans things.
At the close of every day's work, he retires home to pains in his body.
Gaskiya aiki nan kam na yi ne kawai amma sana'a akwai sana'a ne akwai wahala.
Definitely I'm doing this trade, but it's very hard. Sometimes the client will tell me they don't make even a penny. That's how I will go empty-handed. I only depend on God, and I plead with my family and find ways to get food to eat.
Sai zo zauna yanzu ba su hakuri to ga abin da halin da muke ciki fa ya zamu yi sai su nemi wani bashi.
Now, in a new development, the Federal High Court sitting in Yenagoa has ruled that former President Goodluck Jonathan is eligible to contest the 2023 presidential election. The presiding judge, Justice Isa Hamadashin, gave the judgment on Friday. He also held that Jonathan's rights to vie for the office of president again cannot be stopped by any retroactive law. And that's it on News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.